Today, my professor took us out to dig a hole. Literally just dig a hole, but apparently this hole can tell you thousands of years of history about the land. I had no idea soil could be really like this, so here's what I learned. Before we even touched the ground, we walked around the seat, and the first thing my professor asked was, "What's a rock here?" I didn't really know what to say, but the logic actually makes sense. Soil forms from rocks breaking down over time, so whatever the parent rock is, the soil kind of inherits from it. Then we looked at the climate, the topography, like, are we on a slope or in a valley? That completely changed how water moves through the soil. We checked the surrounding vegetation and whether humans had even modified the land. My professor said that putting all of this together lets you make a prediction before we even dig about what mining process shaped the soil, what is organic matter building up, nutrients getting washed away by rain, waterlogging. You want a raw idea in your head before the shovels goes in. Then we actually started digging. You want to get past the surface layer. It's too disturbed to be useful. You need fresh soil. Once this pit is open, you put a tape measure in vertically. And this is the part I found the most interesting. The soil isn't uniform. It comes in layers. Each one has a different color, a different texture, a different feel. These layers are called rhizomes, and they go O, A, B, C, R from top to bottom. For each horizon, you look at the same set of things. Thickness, just how deep that layer goes. Roots, how far down they reach, which tells you something about whether that layer is actually hospitable for plants. Texture, and this one you do by feel. My professor said it takes practice, and honestly, my first attempt, I wasn't sure at all. Sandy soil feels gritty. Clay is sticky when it's wet, almost plastic. Structure, how the particles come together near the surface, is often loosey and crumbly, like little aggregate. Deeper down, it can form larger, more angular blocks. And color, we use something called Munsell color chart, which is basically a bullet of standardized soil colors. You hold it up to the soil and find the closest match, then write down the code, something like 10YR4/4. The color tells you how much organic matter is in there, whether iron was oxidized, whether the soil stays waterlogged. Once you described all the layers, you move into what my professor calls the diagnostic phase. And it's actually a bit like doctor reading test result. You are looking for specific features that match a defined set of criteria. Once you identify those features, you can match the soil to a type. Ours come out of Luvic Umbrisol. Honestly, hearing that after spending half a day with just a pit and a tape measure, it was kind of cool moment. So from reading the landscape to digging the pit to matching colors on a chart to actually naming the soil, the whole thing took about half a day, but I feel like I've never looked at a part of ground the same way again. Before this, I just saw dirt. Now I find myself looking at the field and wondering, what's a rock underneath? What does this vegetation grow here? Has anyone ever walked this line?